Imagine being trapped in a situation with no way out, no hope, no one coming to save you. Now imagine you're an animal, unable to call for help, unable to understand why you're suffering. That's the reality many creatures face every single day. But sometimes, against all odds, a miracle happens. A hero steps in, risks everything, and pulls off a rescue so unbelievable, it leaves the world in awe. These are the stories that restore our faith in humanity. The moments where courage and compassion collide to save a life hanging by a thread. One of the most incredible rescues ever recorded took place off the coast of Costa Rica, where a group of fishermen spotted something strange in the water. At first glance, it looked like a log floating near the surface, but as they moved closer, they realized it was something far more heartbreaking: a humpback whale, completely entangled in a deadly web of fishing nets and ropes. The massive creature was struggling, its movements growing weaker by the minute, as the ropes cut into its skin, threatening to drag it under for good. Without hesitation, the fishermen jumped into action. Armed with nothing but knives and sheer determination, they dove into the water, carefully cutting away the ropes one by one. The whale, sensing their help, remained surprisingly still, almost as if it understood they were there to save it. After hours of painstaking work, the last rope finally snapped free. In an instant, the whale surged upward, breaking the surface in a breathtaking breach before disappearing into the deep. It was a moment of pure triumph, a life saved against all odds. Then there's the story of Bella, a dog who found herself in a nightmare scenario. While wandering near the woods, she fell into a sinkhole, a gaping pit 25 feet deep with nearly vertical walls. For days, her desperate barks echoed through the trees, but no one could find her. Then, by sheer luck, a group of hikers heard her cries and called for help. When rescuers arrived, they faced an impossible challenge. The hole was too narrow for a person to climb into safely. That's when a firefighter named Mark volunteered for a risky mission. Strapped to a rope, he was lowered into the pit headfirst, squeezing through the tight space with nothing but his training keeping him steady. When he reached the bottom, he found Bella weak, dehydrated, but still alive. Wrapping her in his arms, he signaled to be pulled back up. As they emerged from the darkness, the crowd that had gathered erupted in cheers. Bella, exhausted but safe, wagged her tail weakly as if to say thank you to the man who refused to give up on her. But not all rescues happen on land. In the freezing waters of Antarctica, a life-or-death drama unfolded between a terrified seal and a pod of hungry killer whales. The seal had taken refuge on a small, floating piece of ice, but the orcas weren't giving up. They worked together, creating waves to wash the seal into the water, a hunting technique they're famous for. Just as it seemed the seal's fate was sealed, a research ship nearby intervened. The crew blasted the ship's horn, startling the orcas long enough to maneuver their vessel between the predators and their prey. Then, carefully, they used the ship to nudge the ice floe with the shaking seal still clinging to it toward thicker, safer ice. The seal scrambled to safety just as the orcas gave up and swam away. It was a rare moment where humans stepped in to tip the scales of nature, giving one helpless animal a fighting chance. Some rescues, however, require more than just quick thinking. They demand raw strength and unwavering patience. In Kenya, a baby elephant learned this the hard way when it wandered too close to a watering hole and became trapped in deep, sticky mud. The more it struggled, the deeper it sank, its terrified cries drawing the attention of nearby wildlife rangers. Knowing that adult elephants would soon arrive and could become dangerously protective, the rangers had to act fast. They tied ropes around the struggling calf and, with the help of a tractor, began the slow, careful process of pulling it free. Just as the last bit of mud released its grip, the baby's mother arrived, trumpeting in alarm. But instead of charging, she watched as her calf was finally free. The reunion was nothing short of magical. The mother rushed to her baby, touching it gently with her trunk as if checking for injuries before leading it back to the safety of the herd. And then there are the rescues that defy all logic, like the time a cat survived being buried alive in a landfill. Workers at a waste disposal site in England were going about their day when one of them heard a faint meowing coming from a pile of compacted trash. At first, they thought it was their imagination, but the cries kept coming. Against all odds, they traced the sound and discovered a ginger cat, somehow still alive after being crushed under tons of garbage. How it got there, no one knew, but the workers didn't hesitate. They dug frantically, pulling the cat out just in time. Covered in filth but miraculously unharmed, the cat was later named Lucky because that's exactly what he was. These stories remind us that in a world full of chaos, kindness still exists. Whether it's a whale given a second chance, a dog pulled from the depths of the earth, a seal saved from the jaws of predators, an elephant reunited with its family, or a cat surviving the unthinkable, these unbelievable rescues prove that heroes come in all forms. Sometimes, all it takes is one person's bravery to change an animal's fate forever. So the next time you see an animal in trouble, remember these incredible moments, because you might just be someone's miracle.
Hey there, if you're enjoying this video and appreciate the effort behind it, don't forget to like this video. It really helps the channel grow, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications so you never miss an update. Oh, and one more thing, share this video with your friends. Spread the love and support. Alright, now let's get back to the video. Let me know if you want any tweaks.